Hello everybody, my name is Cameron Brown and a warm welcome to the How to Cameron channel, and today I'm going to be making a video on something that's kind of out of my element, and that is a video on the beauty community. Now, I am part of the beauty community, I like to think, because I am beautiful, smash like, but you know, when it comes to the makeup aspect of it, nah. But today I wanted to talk about a situation regarding some tea that was spilt in one of Shane's videos, a video that is in the series that he's doing with Jeffree Star. Now, I want to start off by saying that I absolutely hate the spilling the tea analogy. Every time I hear that phrase, it makes me cringe. But you know what? It's okay, because if I make videos about it using a phrase like that, even though it's cringy, I'll probably actually get some goddamn views. And I really need views. I'm not even gonna lie. So everyone watching this video, I know that this is going to bring in a new group of people to my regular subscribers, hopefully. Guys, I am such a nice YouTuber. You need to subscribe to me. I am super charismatic. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some drama that involves a YouTuber called Nikkie Tutorials, Jeffree Star, even though he's not specifically in the drama, but he released details which initiated the tea being spilt. And also it involves a company which I believe is called Too Faced. And I'm going to give you guys the deets. I literally want to kill myself. Nikkie Tutorials, if you don't know, is this female YouTuber, beauty YouTuber who does makeup videos. I remember I searched up a name and she's 1.89 meters tall. What? So that means if I saw her in person, I'd have to look up to her. That's nuts. That kind of surprised me. I didn't expect her to be 2 centimeters taller than me. Jesus Christ. I imagine it's something that she probably makes out to be a big deal. And she's probably like, oh guys, I've always struggled with being really tall, yet wears high heels. Makes sense. The amount of girls I know in person, not as friends. Girls don't like me in real life. It's a sad life, I know. I know a lot of tall girls who will literally complain about being too tall, yet wear high heels. And I'll just be like, okay then, what? But pretty much, this YouTuber, 3 years ago, in 2016, she was involved in a brand deal with a company called Too Faced, in which they made a palette together.
So here it is, The Power of Makeup by Nikkie Tutorials in collaboration with Too Faced.
Straight off the bat, every single goddamn YouTuber that has made a beauty palette pretty much says the same thing. Guys, I worked so hard on it. We worked on it for a year. I ain't having it, okay? There is no way you work that hard on a goddamn palette that contains, what, 10 types of goddamn makeup. I don't even know what the makeup was called. Is it foundation? It probably is. Foundation? Highlighter? I don't know, okay?
We've worked so hard on this. I've worked so hard on this. Rick's worked hard on this. The entire Too Faced team worked so hard on this.
I don't get how it takes a year to make a goddamn palette unless you're only spending 1 minute on it a day. I do not see how it can be that hard. And on top of that, the palette was actually very poorly reviewed. So it's not like they did a good job. So that made me a little bit confused, but whatever. So pretty much she was given a flat fee to cooperate with this business to make a palette. She was given $50,000, which is like £40,000. She made 40 grand for a year project, which does sound a bit weird, because I just struggle to believe that she's been spending 30-40 hours a week on one palette for a year. I don't believe that at all. I believe that she probably worked a couple of hours on it a week, because honestly, if she spent any longer on that, she must be inept, because the palette wasn't even good and it was a year of work. What the hell? So pretty much she released the palette and she said it was really good. And at the time when she released her palette, I believe she had about 4 to 6 million subscribers. I didn't check specifically, but she was getting about 1 million views a video. So clearly she was quite successful. Something that interests me about the beauty community is just how business driven it is. It seems like every single person, every single influencer in the beauty community, they're all business people as well. Which just seems a bit weird, because yes, you make makeup videos and you're good at makeup, but that doesn't necessarily make you a good business person. So it kind of worries me a little bit how all these influencers, all these YouTubers are given so much responsibility, i.e. having so much power over the spending power of their customers, their fans, when actually they're not business people, because they haven't really studied business. A lot of them are just They're just people who make makeup videos, you know? They're not really orientated or geared towards being a businessman or businesswoman or whatever. So just on that aspect, I feel like there is a lot of heavy responsibility put on these influencers, because if they release a product, they're going to make millions off it. And obviously if you're making millions off a project and a lot of people dislike the project or whatever you're selling, you can get in a lot of legal trouble. And generally the more money that's involved, the bigger lawsuits can get when it comes to products. Jeffree Star mentioned how this company, Too Faced, actually made about $10 million, which is about £8 million in revenue. And obviously, if the main person who driven a lot of them sales was only given $50,000, about £40,000, it just seems a bit unfair. And there has been a massive boycott. There's been people getting triggered at Too Faced for exploiting a YouTuber. And I feel like a lot of people are giving this company a lot of crap. Now, unfortunately, the business has been hit very hard. As you can tell by the parent company's share value, it has gone straight to the dirt. It hasn't. I don't know how it hasn't, to be fair, because it seems like a lot of people are showing outrage towards this company. Now, the only reason why I know about this is because my girlfriend knew about it and she told me about it. And I, as a good boyfriend, show interest in what my girlfriend is interested in. Likewise, she shows interest in what I'm interested in, which is GILFs, grandpa porn. God bless. A lot of people are making it out like this company, was illegal and forced a person, an influencer, Nikkie Tutorials, they forced her to accept this contract, which just didn't happen. The fact of the matter is she accepted a contract with a flat fee. Now, I want to say this straight off the bat. Firstly, the contract that she was given probably wasn't even that bad. And the reason why I say that is because when she originally was given this contract, her channel was much, much smaller. She was given this contract, I believe, a year before, the product was released. And when a company, wants to have a contract with someone and give them a set amount of money, they have to weigh in all the risks. It's not fair for people to put pressure on this business and get angry at the business for not paying the person properly if when the contract was signed, the influencer was in a completely different position. That channel growth couldn't have been properly predicted by the company Too Faced, who assigned the contract. And on top of that, Nikkie Tutorials herself signed the contract. The thing is, when it comes to flat fee contracts, is there's so much risk on the actual business involved. If you're an employer, if you are someone at the head of a company and you want to sign a deal with an influencer and you're giving them a set amount of money, you're pretty much saying to them that even if this project completely flops and everyone hates the product and it makes no money and there's lawsuits related to it and it just goes really badly, you've got your money, you're okay, you're guaranteed that money. That's what a flat fee contract is. And the reason why it was so much lower than the 10 million in revenue that they actually made is, one, the contract was made when her channel was much smaller and hence didn't predict how much money Nikkie Tutorials was actually going to drive them to make. On top of that, 2016, the beauty community, or 2015 when the contract was signed, the beauty community was very much smaller. The buying power of customers, I believe, was very much more underestimated. And I remember this, back in 2015, not many people had palettes, not many people were selling products that they, were part of or made themselves. And just because that, there's a lot of uncertainty revolved around if her fans would actually buy the goddamn products. And just out of that respect, that's why the offer was probably so low. And on top of that, Nikkie Tutorials signed the contract. At the end of the day, Nikkie Tutorials was probably very new to business. And as I mentioned before, I think it's dangerous how a lot of these influencers, people who just enjoy makeup and making videos on products, they go from just making videos to having responsibility with huge companies and lots of money. And just out of that respect, I think it is a little bit dangerous. So obviously, I think it was a mistake on Nikkie Tutorials' part. And on top of that, I think that it was a mistake on the business's point of view, because they should have told her how successful the project was and given her more money. But obviously that would have been a moral thing, technically the company didn't have to reach out to her. So I don't think the company's done anything illegal. I just think they've been kind of immoral by not catching up with Nikkie Tutorials and saying, actually, you've driven us a lot more money than we expected. Hence, we're going to give you some extra money towards it as a thank you. I don't feel like they went out of their way to be like horrible to this person, Nikkie Tutorials. But at the end of the day, she did get a lot of money out of this. And I feel like it's a bit of a grey area, people just saying, wow, they exploited Nikkie Tutorials. Because at the end of the day, I very much doubt they had that intent. The company that is behind the company that employed Nikkie Tutorials with this contract, they have well over 40,000 employees. So when you're boycotting this company, you're not really hurting the people at the top. You're just hurting the employees. Because if a business has a revenue decrease of half and they lose all their profit that they're making and start to go to a loss, you know what the company's going to do? Downsize. You know what happens when a company downsizes? The employees are just decommissioned. And just because of that, people lose their jobs. Boycotting this company just seems really pointless because it's not actually helping anyone. It's actually hurting the people who work hard. The people who are passionate about working for this company. It's not hurting the people at the top who are already rich as hell. On top of that, it just seems like everyone messed up in this scenario. You know, Nikkie Tutorials probably should have had more business knowledge. She should have gone through this contract with a lawyer and made sure that it was fair, because obviously it wasn't fair in the future. But maybe at the time that she signed that contract, it was fair, because you have the company doubting how successful this is going to be, but then you have the company guaranteeing that she'll make money. You know, if it was a profit share, if it was like, oh yeah, you're going to make 30% of the profits we make out of this product directly, if the product flopped and made no profit and actually made a loss, she would have had to pay money for the palette that she was partnering with Too Faced to make. And just out of that respect, it would have been worse for her if the company did bad. And maybe the company was giving her a flat fee just to guarantee security for her. Business is really confusing when it gets to things like this. And I feel like a lot of people who know about this situation just don't understand business that well. Like they just take it at face value. Oh, the company just ripped her off. And I don't really feel bad for Nikkie Tutorials either, because she still made 50 grand out of all of this. It's not like her career was impacted by this, and it's not like she was robbed. Yes, the pallet company made $10 million, but that was in revenue. If you actually work out how much money they probably made in profits, it's probably half that, which obviously still is a lot of money, but it just proves that people want to believe the highest number. And I feel like that's a problem with the beauty community. I feel like there needs to be drama for it to thrive. I feel like that's just completely true. But all in all, I think the company was scummy. They should have gone back to Nikkie Tutorials and been like, listen, the partnership we did with you did immense. We're going to give you more money just as a thank you. I don't get why they didn't do that, because obviously they benefited so much from her. But on top of that, Nikkie Tutorials did accept the contract. So I believe the reason why she was underpaid was her fault, fundamentally. I don't feel like it was just the company's fault. And I don't feel like the company exploited her, because, as I mentioned before, 2015 was a completely different time for the beauty community. $50,000 to cooperate on a palette back then wasn't even that non-reasonable, because people didn't really understand how successful it would be. Back then, I think palettes and influencers partnering with high-end companies, I believe that it was such a grey area that it led to a lot of uncertainty, which meant that companies had to be much more careful with how much money they were offering to influencers. And especially because they were giving a flat payment. Because it was a flat payment, they were pretty much saying that, yeah, we accept that if this product flops, makes no profit, we're still going to give Nikkie her money. So hopefully this video was good. I don't know how it turned out. I've never made a video like this. I'm really just trying to make content that, you know, I just want to make. I found this situation quite interesting because I felt like there was a lack of diversity when it came to this topic in terms of people talking about it. Everyone was just shitting on the company Too Faced. No one was trying to like play devil's advocate. I'm not paid by flipping Too Faced. Do you really think they'll pay for this dead channel to talk about them? And I'm not trying to say, oh guys, we should all forgive Too Faced and we should all buy their goddamn makeup. Nah, I'm not saying that at all. I think they are quite a scummy company actually. But I don't think boycotting them is the best thing to do, because boycotting normally just hurts the regular employees for the company. They don't normally hurt the top managers, because even if the business was forced to close because they weren't making any more profit anymore, the people at the top would still have loads of money. So it's not like they're going to be made bankrupt or anything. They would just take the money that they've made from this business throughout the lifetime of the business and then make a new business. Start a new adventure and they'll make more money out of that. So boycotting is just not really that smart. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Smash like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new today. And I'll be seeing you guys later. Goodbye.